Yo everyone, what is going on? Welcome to the video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you 3 of my new low-calorie, high-protein recipes that you are definitely going to love, and a dessert recipe that you are probably going to want to make immediately after watching this video. As well as that, I'm also going to be sharing with you 3 of my daily habits that have literally changed my life for the better, in terms of my overall productivity, in terms of any success that I have had, and just my overall happiness in general. So I hope you are ready for those little nuggets of wisdom. Before we continue, if you are somebody that watches my videos even on a semi-regular basis and you have not yet pressed the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it if you do so. I am closing in on the 20,000 subscriber landmark. I think it'll be a cool landmark to reach. So yeah, if you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe because it really does help the channel grow. And without further ado, let's go to this absolute banger of a breakfast. Alright, so ingredient number 1 is one of these kids wraps. This is basically just a small wrap. There is 131 calories in the wrap, and if you can find a whole wheat version of these or just a brown version of these, then I would probably go with that because there's going to be more fiber in that. It's going to be a little bit more filling, but at the same time a little bit of white bread or white wrap in this case won't kill you. So whatever one you go with, I'm good with that. Then what I'm going to do is spray a Pyrex dish with some 1-calorie spray. This is important so the wrap doesn't stick to it. Then I'm going to place my wrap in the dish, making sure the edges come up over the side, so like this. And then I'm gonna fill this hole up, so I'm gonna crack 2 eggs into the wrap. I'm gonna pour in 150 ml of egg whites. I'm gonna add in 2 cherry tomatoes that I have chopped into thin slices, 15 grams of spinach leaves that I have chopped into little pieces. I'm gonna sprinkle 15 grams of 30% less fat cheese on top, and then add some sea salt and of course some smoked paprika. So this is how we are currently looking. And then I'm gonna put it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. What a creation this is. And I'm struggling to come up with a name for it, but I think I'm gonna go with baked breakfast pie. I think that sounds good. Baked breakfast, bit of alliteration. That is alliteration, isn't it? Anyway, what I like most about this, apart from the fact that it is extremely tasty, it is low in calories, it is high in protein, is that it's actually a breakfast that you could see yourself making. So I think it's one of those that, you know, you kind of prepare it for whatever it takes, a couple of minutes, stick it in the oven, go do your morning bits, and 20 to 25 minutes later, boom, it's done. Easy as that. That's actually one of the things that I hate when I'm looking at recipes online. I'm like, kind of want to swap it up for breakfast. What am I gonna make? And all the recipes are like avocado and ricotta on toast and like cabbage pancakes or something. Like, who on earth would want a cabbage pancake? And with that in mind, my nutrition hub is going live in the next couple of weeks, and in here you will get access to all of my easy to make, no weird ingredients recipe videos and recipe books. You get access to my personal calorie and macro formula, so you can calculate your nutritional requirements based on your goal. You get access to your own account on my website and a place to track your progress, and so much more. So if that is something that you're interested in, I will leave the link to that in the comment section, and if you click that link you will see a pop-up appear, and if you enter your email address there, you will receive an email with a 20% off code when the nutrition hub does go live. Okay, so my first habit that I want to talk about is starting work at 6:45 a.m. 6 days per week. And honestly, as my business has grown and grown over the last couple of years, this is just something that I view as absolutely necessary to ensure that I remain on top of things, and also to ensure that I keep moving forward, I keep progressing. And before, when I wasn't starting work this early, I just found that I had absolutely no work-life balance because I was just working so late into the evening. So now, most of the time at least, I can close the laptop at a reasonable hours and just spend, you know, at least a couple of hours most evenings chilling out on the couch, maybe watching a couple of YouTube videos, watching a Netflix series or whatever. So my alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m. 6 days per week. I get dressed in the dark because I don't want to wake Rach, and also because I don't really care what I look like at that time. Then I make my way to the kitchen. I pour myself a big bottle of water. I take my morning supplements, then I make myself a decaf coffee because I like to keep my caffeine at a relatively acceptable level throughout the day. Then by 6:45 I get to work on answering emails, and I find that this morning block of work, so between the hours of about 6:45 and 9, is by far my most productive. I just feel that I can get so much done. There is very little distractions. My phone isn't blowing up with notifications. I feel well rested. My mind is clear, and as a result, by like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m, I just feel really on top of things, really ahead of myself. Okay, so my next meal is absolutely ideal and delicious for any pasta lovers out there, and not just pasta lovers, but those who love like a creamy pasta dish. And most of you, or some of you, probably know that creamy pasta dishes are notoriously like really high in calories. But yeah, I think I've come up with an absolute gem here, so let's get into it. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna get to work on the veg. So I'm gonna chop half an onion into little pieces, half a green and half a yellow pepper into little pieces. I'm gonna chop 50 grams of mushrooms into little pieces, and I'm gonna chop 1 carrot into little matchsticks. Then I'm gonna add all of my veg to the pan, followed by 100 grams of diced chicken breast. And as the chicken and veg are cooking away, I'm gonna add 40 grams of whole wheat pasta to this saucepan. And now that the chicken and this veg has gotten a little bit of a head start, I'm gonna add some more veg. So I'm gonna add 4 cherry tomatoes that I have chopped in half, 5 of these baby corns. I'm gonna add some seasoning, so some sea salt, a little bit of garlic, some smoked paprika, a few chili flakes, and a good bit of Cajun. And last but not least, I'm gonna add half of a chicken stock cube that I have dissolved in 100 ml of boiling water. Then I'm gonna add 30 grams of this Philadelphia low-fat soft cheese to a bowl, followed by 1 egg. I'm gonna mix those together. And then when the egg mix is as smooth as it can be, add it to your chicken and veg mix. Mix it in, and then just let it cook away for the final literally 1 to 2 minutes. Oh, and I almost forgot, add your pasta into the mix as well. And just to top it off, I'm gonna sprinkle 15 grams of 30% less fat cheese on top. All right, we are good to go. And one of my favorite things about this meal is the depth. Like, this is a big bowl and it pretty much fills a massive portion of it. And I know it's probably a little higher in calories than your average low calorie dish, like it has just under 600, but I think as far as creamy pasta dishes go, you know, you're probably not gonna get much better. So first of all, it is extremely high in protein, over 50 grams. It is very filling because it is just so dense and packed with veg. And it is actually tasty as well, because I find when you are like trying to create a creamy dish like this and you are just using loads of kind of lower calorie alternatives, then it really just doesn't turn out as nice. So my advice is, you know, if you're actually going to the bother of making a creamy pasta dish, save up those few extra calories, actually include some of the ingredients that you want, like an egg, a bit of cheese, and it will turn out something like this. This is so good. Okay, so my second daily habit, and this is more of a recent one, I think, is going for 2 short walks every single day. And I don't really have a solid step goal at the moment, but I do average roughly around 8,000 to 10,000 steps on a daily basis. So, you know, it's not a huge amount of steps or anything like that, but, you know, it's an adequate amount given the fact that I spend most of my days sitting at my desk. So my first walk is always at about 9:30 or 10 a.m. and this is after that morning block of work that I do. And at this stage, my brain is pretty full. You know, I feel a little bit drained, but this walk just refocuses me and re-energizes me so much. And on this morning walk, most of the time, I will stick on a podcast because I find that sometimes if I leave myself alone with my own thoughts, it can be counterproductive because I'm just thinking about all of the things that I need to do. I'm pretty much overthinking because I already know that I have to do them. So sticking on a podcast just helps me zone out for that 15-minute block of walking. And the ones that I kind of like listening to at the moment are the High Performance podcast by Jake Humphrey. That's a really good one. And the other one I'm listening to right now a lot is The Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett. And then my second walk is in the evening times at about 8 p.m. Sometimes I'll go with Rach, sometimes I will go alone, and it is usually after I've finished all of my work. So it's kind of like a nice way to switch off, and sometimes I don't want to go because I'm just so tired. But what I kind of do to make myself go on that walk is if I want a treat that evening, I won't have it in the apartment. So I literally need to walk to the shop to go and get get it. Okay, so it is time for my final meal of the day. This is perfect for anyone who has a bit of a sweet tooth or for anyone who loves a bit of biscoff in their life. I am personally a big fan, and I think it started when Krispy Kreme came to Ireland, must be a couple of years ago at this stage, and I tried their Lotus donut for the first time. And honestly, I think I like it so much that I don't even buy the biscoff spread because I just know that I wouldn't be able to control myself around it. Like, I think I can kind of control myself around the jar of Nutella. Like, I could put that away, I could eat it in moderation, but there would be no hope with the biscoff. If that was open in front of me, I would be spooning out every last bit of that and probably licking the jar off. Okay, so I have my trusty Ninja blender at the ready, and I'm gonna kick things off by adding in 35 grams of oats. I'm gonna add in 2 of these Lotus biscoff biscuits. And then I'm going to add in 15 grams of this 0-calorie maple syrup. You can use whatever flavor and whatever brand you like. I'm just a big fan of maple. Then I'm gonna blend the ingredients together. Alright, so the blending is done. So I'm gonna put that to one side for a second. And then I'm gonna be getting to work on the filling. So I'm gonna be using 100 grams of this low-fat soft cheese, 100 grams of fat-free vanilla yogurt, 2 teaspoons of sweetener, 5 ml of vanilla extract. And finally, I'm gonna add in 5 grams of this 0-calorie maple syrup. And let's mix it all together. This is actually so good, I could probably eat it by the bowl. But I need to contain myself and save it for the finished article. And last but not least, I'm gonna mix 10 grams of powdered peanut butter with some water to form a paste. And then I'm going to serve 1 portion into this glass. So the measurements that I use is enough for 2 portions. And I wonder if anyone actually knows what this is yet, because I haven't actually said it. But if you don't, you're about to find out. Okay, so I'm gonna use the blender mix as the base of this dessert. I'm going to press it down just so it becomes a little bit more solid. You can use whatever you like. So this is the base. Then next up comes our filling, a little double of our peanut butter. Then as the topping, I'm gonna get 1 biscoff biscuit. I'm gonna break off half, put that in there like so. Then I'm gonna crush the other half and sprinkle that on top. Okay, so what are we saying about this biscoff cheesecake? And with this, it is important to remember that the measurements that I use for the base and the filling are for 2. So you could make this for you and your partner, you and your mom, you and your dad, you and your friend, you and your dog. Or what I like to do, and I highly recommend that you do as well, is make both portions for yourself. But honestly, this is absolutely delicious. A perfect way to round up the day if you have a few calories left over. A perfect little dessert after your dinner on like a Friday or a Saturday evening or something like that. And when you are eating this, how you eat it is key. So it's important that you get every layer, if that makes sense, with every spoonful. So you need to get a bit of the topping, you need to get a bit of the peanut butter, a bit of the filling, and a bit of the base as well. And if you are a biscoff addict like myself and you are definitely gonna try this, make sure you comment below and let me know. Okay, so my final habit that I want to talk about in this video, and this one has really transformed my life over the last year or so since I've really started to focus on it, is making sure that I am going to bed at a reasonable hour. So most evenings I will make it a point to be in bed by 10 p.m. at the very latest, and honestly, it doesn't matter what I'm doing before that. So we could be in the middle of watching a Netflix series, we could be on the last episode, something big is about to happen. I genuinely do not care. I am getting up from that couch at 9:45. I am brushing my teeth. I am laying out my clothes for the following morning so I can get dressed in the dark in peace. I am pouring a couple of drops of lavender on my pillow to help me relax, and I am sticking on an eye mask so I am in complete darkness. And it usually does take me a little while to actually switch off mentally and get to sleep, but most of the time I do try and average about 7 hours of unbroken sleep per night, because that is just so important for me and for everyone else to ensure that they are performing each day at a decent level. Because I think I can operate on less than 7 hours for maybe a few days, but you know, if I have a week where my sleep is just really poor, and those weeks do happen, I usually notice that after a few days my productivity goes down and my hunger goes up, my cravings go up, and honestly honestly, I'm just in a bit of a bad mood. So anybody that knows me will tell you that my sleep routine is really important to me, and it is definitely one of the main reasons that I am generally able to keep on top of things on a daily basis. Alright everyone, I'm going to wrap the video up there. I hope you enjoyed the recipes. I hope you enjoyed the little insight into my daily habits. And these are actually the type of videos that I really enjoy to do. So a few recipes, and then I touch on a topic, whether it's kind of fitness or non-fitness related. So yeah, if you enjoy this kind of layout, make sure you comment below and let me know. And of course, it really does help if you smash that thumbs up button. So if you haven't done so already and you've got this far in the video, then I would really appreciate it if you do so. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are all keeping well, and I will see you in the next video.